The Mandalorian and Grogu film is here, the first Disney Star Wars film since the awful sequel trilogy finished almost 7 years ago, and to call it mid would be generous, given the terrible quality of the Star Wars TV shows that have been released in recent years. The Acolyte and Ahsoka immediately come to mind. I doubt many people were looking forward to a condensed version of a TV series that hasn't exactly reignited faith in Star Wars as a brand. Even the critics are finding it hard to defend this film, with one of the lowest Rotten Tomato scores across all of the Star Wars cinema releases, and this is the same people who rank The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi as some of the best films, which most of the fan base completely reject. The basic spoiler-light plot has Mando working for the New Republic, acting as an independent contractor, taking out Imperial warlords who are trying to build up military power. A contract to take out a mysterious warlord requires Mando to carry out a task for the Hutts in order to get intel on his target, tasked with rescuing their nephew. Circumstances lead to him breaking his deal with the Hutts, who send a bounty hunter to capture him. After being brought before the Hutts and fighting various creatures, he manages to escape with the aid of Grogu before returning and killing them. The plot as a concept is absolutely fine. It isn't complicated and doesn't have to be. Rather, the issues stem from the execution. The story is rushed, full of contrivances and gaping holes, jumping from scene to scene rather than naturally progressing. You can tell that this was originally supposed to be a multiple episode TV series, with everything being rushed, so much so that you could easily fit another hour or two worth of content into the gaps. For example, there's a part where Mando and Zeb have to break into a heavily fortified compound to apprehend their target, yet instead of there being some thought put into how they deal with being massively outnumbered, Mando just appears inside the building, then kills everyone with the help of Zeb before a boring chase scene as they escape, or when Mando very easily twice breaks into the fighting pit area to talk to the Hutt's nephew, which is the kind of thing that should be hard to do. There's plenty of plot contrivances that are used to conveniently advance the story, like when Grogu just happens to find someone in the middle of the jungle who happens to be able to solve a very particular problem, or when they stumble across a crashed ship that for some reason hasn't been recovered by the Hutts, despite being in good condition, which contains items that Mando can use. People also seem to know things without showing how exactly they know it, in an effort to condense the plot into 2 hours, like how after Mando is captured by the bounty hunter, Grogu swiftly tracks him down across light years, despite it not being shown how he knows where Mando has been taken. There's plenty of fight scenes throughout the film, though many of them are bad. An issue that I had is the sheer amount of plot armor that Mando has. Most of the fights are too easy, largely because the enemies have the worst accuracy in all of cinema, completely unable to hit their target, even when he's only a dozen feet away. I've never held anything more dangerous than a paintball gun in my life, and I absolutely believe I could do better. This undermines many of the fights because it strips away the danger. I've heard it compared to John Wick, though the difference there is that John actually got hit. He struggled through his fights, instead of tearing through enemies due to their sheer incompetence. There are some other fight scenes where he fights not stormtroopers or droids, but various different creatures, one time in a gladiatorial-style arena and another time in a dungeon. These fights are much better. Not only do they look good, but it actually has him struggle to survive, instead of easily tearing through opponents. Are there any good things about this film? Not many. The visuals are decent, and some of the fight scenes are good. The ones where Mando is fighting various creatures, but these are highlights within a film that for the most part is a badly executed mess. Yes, the film has some entertainment value, but you also aren't missing much if you decide to skip this.